J Richardson and welcome to Lad Reviews. Happy New Year, I'm back in 2019. So what's first for the year? It's Mary Poppins, biatch.
Mate, it can't be like Mary Poppins biatch. It's actually also Mary Poppins Returns.
Good point. So the film Mary Poppins biatch is probably available on a different site. I wouldn't go and look at that. Don't Google it. That may not be good. But Mary Poppins Returns is a new film about Mary Poppins returning, I guess. The Banks kids from the original are now grown-ups and they're played by Ben Whishaw and Emily Mortimer. Ben Whishaw, not very good. Emily Mortimer, decent. Thought she did really well, actually. She's quite a watchable character. Ben Whishaw, some of his performances are amazing, but I don't think this was quite right for him. For me, it just didn't quite sit right. He's a very star-studded cast throughout. There are some big names in it. Darcy, can't remember his name, the guy out of Bridget Jones' Diary, you know, the Darcy guy. What's he called? I can't remember his name.
Your memory is shit.
I've eaten too much turkey. Sauce. Colin Firth. Got it. Colin Firth. He's in it. But let's look at the two main characters in this. Lin-Manuel Miranda, I think his name is, who's from Hamilton. He wrote Hamilton and created that amazing show. He plays Jack. Now, Jack is the light switcher on I can't remember what they were called. I always used to think he was a chimney sweep in the original. But he's all right. His accent is a little bit better than Dick Van Dyke's, but Dick Van Dyke was just what a performance it was from Dick Van Dyke in the original. And this just isn't quite anywhere near that level. I mean, it's not even in the same ballpark. You know, my favourite part of the whole film is when Dick Van Dyke gives us a little cameo at 92 years of age. He's still doing some dancing and singing. Like, credit to the guy. I don't imagine Lin-Manuel Miranda will be doing the same at 92 in the remake of Mary Poppins Returneth the Third or whatever, because he's just a bit egg. Talking about big shoes to fill, Julie Andrews' shoes, I mean, I imagine she was a size 5, but she probably had size 28 shoes in Mary Poppins. And Emily Blunt, sadly, well, she may as well just have had stumps instead of feet, because she just does not fill those shoes. She has a good crack at it, but it just feels a little bit forced and it's just not quite there, sadly. And I'm not going to give this a very good mark. I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. Now, it would have been lower, but I did go to see this with some kids who seemed to be transfixed on the film for 90% of it. They did seem to really enjoy it. And I think without them being affected by the original, this was quite a good film for them to go and watch. But this will not be a classic. This is not going to be the sort of film that's on every Christmas for the next 25 years. This is not going to be something that's going to be remembered for eternity. And I think that's a shame, because it was a good opportunity for Disney and the Mary Poppins saga to go somewhere different. You know, this wasn't a remake, it was a sequel. As I say, aside from a couple of all right performances, I did like the choice for 2D animation. Nowadays, everyone goes for 3D animation to, you know, try and make it more real, but of course it's still animation. And I think the nature of the original bit having the 2D animation in it, I think kept it within the same world there. But of course, the standard of production values have gone through the roof, and there was a little bit of a discrepancy there. I'd wait for it to come out on Netflix or Amazon or whatever, or Disney Plus, which is a new thing coming out later this year. In fact, Disney Plus, it may be the sort of thing that gets launched with that. But for me, unless there's an offer at your cinema, maybe give this one a miss. It's not as exciting as you would have thought. But if you do have lots of kids and you need to keep them entertained, the kids were entertained. I don't think the kids are going to be speaking about it for long periods of time. You know, it's not like the old Mary Poppins. It's its own thing, and I think if the original Mary Poppins didn't exist, it would have probably got a little bit more credence. But that's where we're at. I'm a little bit harsh.
You're a bitch.
Whoa, what, why?
You're ruining Mary Poppins.
Why am I ruining Mary Poppins?
You see Mary Poppins in Poppins, and that's ruining Mary Poppins.
Right. Okay, Jeff's upset, but I'm going to leave him to it now.
You can't just leave me here.
I can, I just won't include you in the edit.
You make
See? You've gone. That's it. No more Jeff. Anyway, I've been Marcus J. Richardson, 2.5 stars. It's up to you whether you want to go and watch it. You might like it, you might not. I didn't, but then again, I don't like musicals. And I also wasn't the biggest fan of the original. But you can't not respect what Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews did in that film. And sadly, Miranda and Blunt didn't quite hit the mark. But good effort nonetheless. 2.5 stars. Up to you. Peace out. Happy New Year.